Welcome.
Hello.
Um, this is Popcorn Buckets.
No, it's not.
It is, and they're probably lost, which is why they're here. But we're gonna roll with it.
This is the new. This is their new favorite show. Show. Soda Pop.
We are called Popcorn Buckets, not Soda Pop.
We're changing our name to Soda Pop.
No. The reason we're named Popcorn Buckets is because I have an addiction to popcorn, and I definitely ate popcorn earlier.
Did you really?
Actually, yeah.
Ooh. No, we need to call ourselves Sodas Pops, and we need to go over the different brands of soda.
See, one of us is addicted to soda, and the other one's not.
Which
Mr.
one?
World of Coke.
Hey,
You keep bringing that up in interviews, by the way. Have you visited the World of Coke?
Just let people know.
No.
Go
It's
once.
not worth going. That is all. This has been my hyper interest. I'm Devin A. Moore. Crazy Harry's deal.
Shut up. Oh man, tell them what we watched today.
We watched The Mummy, 1959.
Oh man, that's not exactly where I thought you were going.
Where did you think I was going?
I don't know. I thought we were going to do a movie about soda.
You watched the movie too. You know there wasn't really any involvement with soda.
There could have been.
Point out. I would like for you to point out where the soda was.
Timestamp. 5 minutes into the movie. 5 minutes even when they're in the pyramid. On the hieroglyphics, I'm pretty sure I saw Dr. Pepper on the wall.
I said, when was Dr. Pepper was invented about that time?
Probably was, or was the Pib Extra 1 too. I don't know.
Let me double check. I don't know how to spell invented, apparently. Yeah, 1885.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it wasn't called Dr. Pepper's, though.
What was it called?
I think Brian's Drink.
Brian's Drink. Sounds like a special cocktail you get at the bar.
Kind of. Hold up. Let's see. Brian's Drink. It's also a cocktail, apparently. But
Told you.
I could have sworn it was original name for Dr. Pepper. Let me Google some stuff.
Oh, here we go. This is not where this episode was going to go originally, but we're here.
Well, we're here. I feel like I'm in some weird alternate dimension right now because it's saying it's Wacko.
Wacko?
It was originally known as Wacko, apparently.
Sounds about right.
From around 1885 to 1891.
Nice shot.
I don't believe that.
It is what it is. Let me fix myself because I feel like I'm a little crooked. There we go. So yeah, we watched the cult classic.
It's made in Texas.
Really? Dr. Pepper's made in Texas?
Yeah, you didn't. I forget, but there's a Dr. Pepper museum in Texas as well.
Well, I was supposed to go to the World M&M, but not to name any names here. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we watched the cult classic 1958, 1959, The Mummy, starring Count Dooku himself. Not as the Mummy, but as the main protagonist.
Oh?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he was the main protagonist.
Let me double check that, because that...
He was not the dried up, skinned up mummy, because I was like, this Christopher Lee is the main guy. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
What? He was not the mummy, was he?
He was the mummy.
What?
He was Karis, the mummy.
Dude, I could have sworn the main protagonist looked like a younger Christopher Count Dooku. I just said Count Dooku because I was just like,
John Banning?
Yeah.
Not really.
You did? I thought so. I was like, oh, interesting. Count Dooku looks kind of young.
if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Lee like injured himself in this movie doing the stunts as the Mummy.
Well, I just embarrassed myself today. I think I'm gonna
You
walk
do
out.
that regularly, but what the fuck, man?
I did. I honestly last night I was watching. I was like, wow, Christopher Lee looks pretty young. Looks a
Oh,
little
gotcha.
different. Time was not good for him. It was the wrong actor.
Okay, you should probably recap the movie while I read over Dr. Pepper's history.
Are you really gonna read over Dr. Pepper's history?
You have your past ones, I have mine.
I mean, I did beat Gears of War 3 today, and dude, that was a shocker. Anyways, this reboot pretty much takes literally like the classic one, where it was basically two American explorers went to the Tomb of Ra. Bunch of locals were like, "Don't go near the tomb. Don't go near the tomb." Well, they ignore it because that's movie logic. You got to ignore it. Go play around the tomb. Bring the mummy back. Oh no, the mummy's alive! Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. By the way, this is the worst Mummy adaptation in my opinion because it was not scary at all.
Hold up, wait a minute.
It wasn't scary.
Several questions. Were you scared in the other ones?
At first, yes. But dude, it was weird. It was like, okay, he just stares at you like Michael Myers. And then he looked like a dried up do-rag. And he's just like this.
Yeah, this one this is one of my favorite ones actually.
Oh yeah, by story.
I thought it was a better story from a lot of the other ones.
Oh yeah, hands down better story.
Yeah,
But
but you're rating this on scariness?
I just wasn't scared. And the mummy was I was like, okay, this is kind of lame.
It's from the original story is from the 30s. I don't know. You really thought it was going to be scary?
I was hoping.
It's supposed to be like off-putting.
It wasn't
At
off-putting.
most.
I don't know. It's because we've been watching a bunch of these, and I'm just like, all the cliches are running together. I'm just like, I'm not impressed.
Well, you're the first person to ever hear say, like, oh, it was spooky. I was scared. I wee-weed a little bit. You're the first person I've ever heard say any of those words about the Mummy movies.
We haven't even got to the 90s ones yet.
Yeah.
Dude, how about last night? I've been watching Sonic, the 80s Sonic cartoon. Not the fun one, but the more serious tone one.
Oh, it's not the one with the triplets?
That's Sonic Underground.
I started that one, and I got about 10 minutes in, and 10 minutes may be generous, but I got a couple minutes in, and I gave up.
You gave up. So when Sonic
Everybody is voiced by the guy that played
Urkel.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I can get this. Okay, no. This is not something I can binge in the gym to just like kill time. This is not the vibe.
Are you sure?
It definitely wasn't.
You sure? I feel like that's your vibe.
That was definitely not the vibe for my workout.
It did. Peacock wants me to watch that. It's recommended it to me so back the first two Sonic cartoons, there were two of them. Okay, there's two of them. The first one was a general, kookiness of the games, right? Sonic and Tails and Dr. Robotnik, silly shenanigans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, there was a second one, and this one's a more serious tone one with action and adventure.
Yeah, there was also a split in the comics where there was like two Sonic cartoons going on at the same time, wasn't there as well?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Shows or
Cartoons?
comics?
Yeah. Cartoons.
Cartoons or comics? Because I'm talking about comics.
I've also read the comic. I know what you're talking about because there's two comic continuities as well. There's Archie.
Okay.
There's Archie.
I love Archie comics.
And then is Archie even make them anymore? What was the second one?
I don't think they have licensing to Sonic anymore.
Okay. I know Archie was like the main timeline for the longest time, and then the second continuity was something else.
I really don't know how Archie is still. I don't know what Archie's doing these days, but the Jughead series was good. I recommend that one, but let's be clear. This man does crossovers like a lot. He's crossed over with the Punisher, Predator, bunch of other ones that doesn't fit. If somebody told me Archie and Sonic teamed up to take down Eggman, I'd be like, yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. I mean, I would too. But yeah, and then yeah, it's pretty much been my hyperfixation. But yeah, these movies were not scary. It was a way better story, way better character development. I'm glad there wasn't some weird, creepy old dude just sitting in the pyramid, be like, control the eye of Ra, make him do this, make him do that, booga 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 booga.
No, this one was much more like off-putting, and they did that on purpose. Like the intention of making the mummy like this was intentional.
Right.
Like, they wanted to make him look disheveled. They wanted to make him look eerie. And apparently Devin wasn't scared by it.
Oh,
But it was supposed to be off-putting. But I mean, you know. So I guess I'm getting into my notes.
go ahead.
First off, Devin's a little bitch and doesn't know the history of Dr. Pepper.
That was not in your notes.
It is now.
Wow. Okay.
What's wrong, little bitch boy? You gonna
Man,
wee?
man, where's my bucket? Where's my bucket?
But no, he uses the cane wrong. So typically, when using a cane, you want it to be offset of the opposite leg.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But if I'm fairly certain, he's supposed to like offset it to like help with the weight distribution. You know.
Yeah.
So, Christopher Lee's mummy walk isn't entirely acting. Besides the injuries to his back and shoulder noted below, he also injured his knees and shins while doing scenes in the studio tank swamp. He couldn't see where the various pipes and fitting under the swampy water were.
Hmm.
So, Hammer Films already done remakes of Universal classics Frankenstein 1931 and Dracula 1931. The Curse of Frankenstein 1957 and The Horror of Dracula 1958, respectively, are those remakes. This was the first film made after the Hammer reached an unofficial agreement with Universal Pictures, Universal International, allowing them to do remakes of the classic horror films. In this film, for example, the agreement with Universal International allowed them to use the name Caris.
Fun fact that we knew.
That you knew?
That now we do know. The people at home.
Why'd you backtrack? Were you worried I was going to call you out?
Maybe.
Smart move, man. Smart move. What? You weren't expecting to be on blast today?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Who's going to find you, Megan?
Dude, you'd be surprised. She probably would.
Though the title suggests Universal Pictures 1932 film of the same name, the film is actually derived from the plot of the characters entirely from two 1940s Universal films, The Mummy's Hand and The Mummy's Tomb, with the climax borrowed directly from The Mummy's Ghost.
Which we've reviewed.
Sure. I think we missed one of those, but yeah.
No, we didn't. We did The Mummy's Hand and The Mummy's Ghost. Oh, no, wait. We just talked about this.
That's a secret mouse control for later.
We might have to check our notes. I think you said something too. We did The Mummy's Hand.
It's for later. It's for 2026. I believe The Mummy's Ghost. Because I made a mistake. Because I believe The Mummy's Tomb and The Mummy's Ghost are both 1944 films. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyways, maybe that's where my brain was thinking. I was like, I know those. We talked about those.
So fun fact. This is a little sneaky preview, Devin.
Oh, sneaky preview.
My first examination of this film, I rated at around a 6.75.
Uh-huh.
After watching the 40s movies, I changed the score.
Really? Did you
Yep.
change it to higher?
We'll talk about that later.
All right, go ahead.
A door through which Sir Christopher Lee must crash was accidentally bolted by the grip before the scene was shot. Lee's shoulder was dislocated and he broke down the door, but the shot remains in the movie. So, the squibs used when Peter Cushing shot Christopher Lee's left burn marks for a few weeks. Lee also threw his back out carrying the girl. This man's going through it.
Oh, that girl ain't even that heavy.
Well, to be fair, he had a bunch of other injuries: the shoulder, the shins, the knees.
That man says, I'm gonna get into Star Wars because of this performance right here.
I don't think that was his thought. He's like, I will be a cinematic legend, and he was.
And he is. Wait, has he passed away? Oh.
It's very sad. We've talked about it before.
Womp womp. All right, continue.
I don't know how to feel about you saying womp womp to Christopher Lee dying.
Womp womp.
In the Flesh and Blood, the Hammer Heritage of Horror, 1994, Peter Cushing claimed that he suggested the scene in which he tries a spear through the mummy. He was inspired by the pre-release poster, which shows the mummy with a shaft of light passing through it.
Oh my.
What?
You made that sound more violent than it was in the movie.
I just read a fun fact, Devin.
Listen, all I know is the ending to this movie, I was like, okay, this is really a remake with better actors.
Yeah, it's pretty much a remake with better actor and a better script. So, I mean, I would, that's pretty much why it's on here, okay?
Yeah, I was just like...
We've improved. We've done better. So.
I mean, that's literally frame for frame, better. I really, and I don't say this a whole lot, I really enjoyed the set building for these movies.
Yeah. The film takes place in 1895 and 1898.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about. Sorry, I got to plug in my computer. I don't know what it was about the set designs, but I thought the set design was beautiful across all throughout the movie, especially the pyramids, or, in the tombs.
A glass fiber replica of the sarcophagus created for this movie is in the collection of the Paris Museum and Art Gallery.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The box containing the Scroll of Life was a reproduction of the original found in the tomb of... Oh, no. Please email us if I get this wrong. Tutankhamun, called Karshut box because it was in the shape of the pharaoh's royal name in the hieroglyphics. Okay. Originally, the scenes of Karis' tongue cut out and the shotgun demise were more graphic, but were trimmed for the British censor.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I would have never noticed. But then again, I don't know, man. When we do these older movies, and it's funny, right? How we can view how back then blood and gore is not really that bad, and then we've watched like some crazier slasher picks.
The 80s gets a bit loose and wild and wet. And I do mean wet literally in like multiple senses, like the sexual kind and the bloody graphic kind. Like somebody gets a nick in their neck and water fountains of blood.
Yeah, we're in
Entire
this
room's
movie
painted red now.
versus in this movie. Oh, got stabbed. He did. You might not see any blood at all, or you might see very little.
Mm-hmm. whitewashing worse than the 1934 movie, but that did include a person of color in the main cast, however. Okay. I am out of notes, Devin.
All right, what are you rating this?
So I originally rated a 6.75. I bumped it up to a 7.25.
Wow. I mean, I can kind of agree. I guess I was kind of.
I think this is a much better movie than the 40s and a lot of the 30 ones.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. This was literally like a reboot, frame for frame. Except one big drawback that I had was the origin story took way too long. Like they dragged out him turning into the mummy like way too much, and I'm like,
hold on a minute. Remember, there was a whole flashback scene in the originals that was not like. So I mean, we're seeing this repeated. So
yeah, but
yes,
the 40s one wasn't as long.
the 40s wasn't, but the 30s was.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know. It was honestly, if we had to compare the two, if I had to tell somebody, like, well,
the 30 had a much longer one. Like it was the whole opening.
yeah. Like to me, it's like, okay, go watch the 30 ones for the flashback. But if you want better script, better acting, 58 one. That's
59.
Oh, 59. I don't know why I keep saying
Close enough.
58.
I know.
But, again, if you want to know a good origin story, my opinion, the 30s one. But if you want everything else, 59.
Okay, Devin, what are you rating this?
I'm kind of match you. It's a good solid 7. Like I said, I think the set design's beautiful, acting's better. That's just about it. Dragged out a little bit, and it just bothers me because like there was no originality. It was frame for frame, and just maybe a revised script and like way better acting. That's about it.
Okay, so that's giving us a 14.25. Which we also rated Predator.
Yeah, okay. Predator was just bang bang, get to the chopper, explosions.
Can you give me your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression?
Get to the chopper.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Not with my throat the way it is right now. No.
Get to the
Get to the chopper. Oh no, that was awful.
You can.
Mine was worse than yours.
No, yours was better than mine. Get to the. I sound Russian when I do it. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper, comrade.
Hey Holmes, get to the chopper.
What?
I don't know. That's where I was trying. Hey Holmes, get to the chopper, eh?
Okay, you ready to hear what we've rated all the Mummy movies?
Yeah, go ahead.
So our top spot is The Mummy 1959 at 14.25.
Yep, like we said, agree. I can agree with that one.
Our second seed, The Mummy 1932, with a 10 out of 20.
Yep, the original.
3 seed, The Mummy's Tomb 1942, 7 out of 20.
That one was okay, yeah.
4th seed, The Mummy's Ghost. So we did review it. 1944.
Okay, we did.
3 out of 20.
I think, yeah, we did hate that one because that one was just, I remember we trashed that one.
And then The Mummy's Hand, 1940, was a 2.25 out of 20.
I think that one used a lot of restock. I think that's why we hated it.
No, I think it was a retelling, but they did it worse than the original.
I think so. I think that's what it was.
All right, Devin. I am out of notes. We have rated it. We've told them where we've rated it in the scale of the Mummy movies. Is there anything else that we should tell them?
Hey, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you can come check me out on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast for everybody. As well, check out Skyle's show, The Random Hour, where we just do random things. And we've had some awesome guests come on the show, and go check them out. And hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch the video version of these episodes as well as the guest interviews and things of that nature. Hey, follow us on Instagram as Rando Bucket Boys, and hey, we're on Twitter as Rando Corporate 1.
Yep.
I just heard something I was mistaken.
I actually was going to ask you to tell them about the history of Dr. Pepper, but I mean, that works too.
Oops.
Yeah. I mean, there's always next episode.
Always been
when and that's when we are actually reviewing The Curse of the Mummies 2 in 1964. I almost wasn't able to get several of those words out of my mouth. I hope you know that.
I know words are hard.
Yeah. But Devin, I guess that's the end of the episode. So, what's your last words before the mummy gets you?
What I looked at my window so hard. I was like, what?
You gonna see Christopher Lee there? You're not supposed to be here.
Hey, bro, this is a Jedi's home. Go on, get. Oh, we kid. I'll just call Megan, a sleepy Megan. Go tell her to go punch him. Go punch him, Megan. Go get him. I think Megan can take on a zombified Christopher Lee in a fight.
I don't think we could. If he has the British Special Forces training integrated in his remaining memory, we're fucked.
I have faith in Megan. Go on, get him.
I don't know, man. But what's your last words?
Just bye. I can't think of nothing. Just bye.